Oh, welcome to the Sharpe Show. So happy to have you with me this evening, a little past 7 p.m. on the East Coast. And it is Monday, and which is lovely because I did a radio show this afternoon, and now I'm back. Yes, you guys, some of you saw me this afternoon, and now I'm back yet again to do what I think is a very special show. One of my favorites that I got from many years ago, which is Mondays with Kathy. Yes, the Mondays with Kathy special is so important. And for those of you who don't know where this comes from, I used to do a show Tuesday with when Cuomo was governor. And I would do Tuesdays with Andy. Why did I do Tuesdays with Andy? Every Tuesday at 7 p.m., I would do a show with Andrew Cuomo, showing what he would say and, basically slamming him when he was governor. And I got that from the old book, Tuesdays with Maury. For those of you who know that book, very good book about a gentleman who's passing away, and someone goes to see him every Tuesday to spend his last days with him. Interesting piece. I enjoyed that part. So I made Tuesdays with Andy. Well, Cuomo, he resigned, and in comes Kathy. So now we have Mondays with Kathy. She always gives me stuff to talk about constantly. She's far worse when it comes to that, as always. So I'll always be able to chat with her about different things. Recently, she is very upset. And I mean, boy, she is upset. She is not happy about the money that is not coming in from the federal government. And that, that's her money. How many times have I told you all that the people say, well, what's New York's plan for the future? This is unsustainable. What's the plan for the future? What I always say, federal money. Well, that can't be the plan. That's the plan. That's the plan. But then what happens if this or that happens? Federal money. What about emergency? Federal money. Stop. That's the answer for everything. Federal dollars is the answer for everything. So any problem, as I used to say, Uncle Joe writes me a check. Now Uncle Don's going to write me a check. Oh, but our queen, she's made some errors. She has dropped the ball. She has made many errors. What I mean by that, she wasn't so nice to him. Remember how she was going to go there and scold him and teach him a lesson, all that stuff? Yeah, that didn't work. That didn't work. No. You can like or not like Cuomo, and I don't. But one thing Cuomo is a deal maker. He's from Queens, just like Trump is also a deal maker. If you remember back in the day when I told you when Kathy Hochul went down to go see Trump, I said she's making a mistake. Screaming, yelling, trying to make all her stuff, scooping and hollering, and she did. And she went down there threatening. And what happened? Well, Elise Stefanik now is staying in New York, and Tish James is indicted. And now you're not getting your money. Billions of dollars you're not getting. How'd that work out for you? You could have just went there and made a deal. Again, as much as I dislike Cuomo, and you guys all know, I've been very open about that. I am not happy with Cuomo at all. He would have made a deal. He'd have went down there. He'd have made a deal. He'd have come back and acted like he won. Of course, that's what he does well. Cuomo's got something to go, I beat up Trump, boy. Did I teach him a lesson? He'd have come back saying that garbage. And Trump would have said, I beat up Cuomo, and everybody would have won, and we had deals. No. Hochul can't do that. That is not within her personality or her skill set. She cannot do that. Not her skill set. So let me begin the punishment. But prior to me beginning the punishment, guys, click the like button. Click the button known as like. It's important. Please do so. Share and repost this if you can. It does matter. But something else important, which I will bring up again later on, but I'm going to talk about it right now. If you are going to be in New York State, North Country, and some parts of Central New York, maybe Albany District, Capital District for a bit, this weekend coming up here, you can come see me. Yes, you can. You can come see me right there. It is. You can see me Friday, October 17th in Gloversville. You can see me in Indian Lake at 5 p.m. on Friday. Saturday, you can see me at the Black Bear Restaurant in Pottersville. You can see me in Plattsburgh. Come on, at 2:30 on Saturday. Over at Maury's Restaurant and Messina at 7 p.m. By the way, those three on Saturday, all North Country. For those of you who don't know, all North Country. And then there'll be a chicken barbecue. Yes, there will be a chicken barbecue at the American Legion in Oneida on Sunday. Come by. It's actually, is it 10 a.m.? No, actually, it's noon. I don't know why I put 10 a.m. That should not be 10 a.m. That's noon. I got to change that. That's noon. So, yes, that's at noon. You see it then. And all of a sudden, we'll see how that will work. People will love it. And come on by. Say hi. Say hi. Come see me. Come say hi. Come see me this weekend. All right. So, let me move on. I will begin the punishment now because I think you guys deserve some punishment. Why? I'm kidding. You don't. I watch this so you don't have to. I will make it interesting for you because that's kind of what I do. So I will make it interesting for you so it won't be that bad. But I also, as always, I want you to understand what they mean when the things they say, what's actually happening here. So, all right. Here we go. All righty. This is Kathy Hochul, and she's telling us what's
Welcome
important.
to one of our nerve centers here at the MTA as we monitor through over 15,000 cameras.
She is very proud of all of the cameras. Very proud. Now, I understand why she's proud. I do. I get the reason why she's proud. She's proud because she did something, I guess, kind of, right? That's her concept. She's done something. She did something kind of. The problem is those cameras haven't stopped crime. Now, do cameras allow us to solve crimes faster? Yes, that's 100% true. Because of the cameras, you can solve crimes faster. That's an accurate statement. The question is, does it actually stop crime? Generally speaking, no. Crime goes up, crime goes down. How many times have you seen horrible crimes and they're all caught on camera? Doesn't stop it. It does make it faster to solve, true, but here's the problem. If you have a broken bail reform law, which we do in New York, if you have that, then you solve the crime faster. You find the right guy or gal. It's almost always a guy. But you find the guy and you put him in jail. Not really. And he comes back out and does it again. So if you don't fix the other aspects, the cameras don't do anything except ensure that we have a police state. Oh, that's kind of the goal, isn't it?
Activities on the MTA. It's one way we keep our riders safe and our employees safe. I want to thank Gianna Lieber, the chair and CEO of the MTA, for his stewardship.
Now, he has been leading the MTA for a long time, and the MTA has been failing for a long time, and he still keeps his job. In fact, she compliments him constantly. The MTA sucks. The biggest problem with the MTA is the switch system. It's the switches. That's the biggest issue. It's switches. So do we fix the switches? No. We do everything other than fix the switches.
Of this incredible organization, the lifeblood of our region, but also during these more difficult times when funding that we used to count on has been stripped away.
The funding that we used to count on. Yes. Not only is the MTA so broken, it can't stand on its own. Not only is it so broken that it can't stand on its own and city money. Not only is it so broken, it can't stand on its own city money and state money. It can't stand on its own unless it has city money, state money, and federal money, and still charge us almost $3 for a ride. Now, here's the weird part. Before the government took it over, it used to stand on its own, period. Just as a private entity, it just stood on its own, period. Now it can't stand on its own with city money, state money, and its own money that we pay it. Roger Meadows has come on here before and said, Larry, we're paying all this tax money. Why are we paying for the subway? In theory, he's correct. If we're paying state tax and city tax, why am I also paying $3 for a ride? Shouldn't I either be paying $3 for a ride or taxation? One of the two? No. Federal, state, city, plus I got to pay, and it still sucks. And this guy is nothing but pat on the back. He's a great guy doing a great job.
Also very fortunate to have the greatest police commissioner in our nation. That is Jessica Tisch, who's really just stepped into a role that was so essential when we started seeing crime rates that were just...
Well, that part I'll give her. Tisch has gone into a spot that has been a disaster. That's true. I'll give her that. That's true. I'll give her that. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. She's been thrown into a spot that is really tough, really horrible. Yes, absolutely. So... all righty. Let's see here. Christopher Baker, thank you for the $5. I want to remind New Yorkers, especially Yankee fans, that today is Bill Mazursky Day. Also, Malaya's has some crucial midterm elections coming. Yes, he does. Malay could be in some trouble coming up here. I think that's possible. Absolutely. Thank you for that.
Absolutely unacceptable, and has really done a masterful job in terms of calming down the situation, in terms of his public perception, but also being there with an incredible team.
She's not wrong.
Reports to her to
Tish took on a lot of stuff. I'll give her credit for that.
Just want to say a couple things because we looked at what's behind us here, and as we look at one of our objectives is keeping New Yorkers safe. This is how we do it. We have a bird.
This is how you do it. Do you remember when that woman was burned alive in the subway? Do you know how we saw she was burned alive? Yeah, it was on cameras, multiple cameras. I'm kind of wondering, how those cameras keep her from being burned alive? Oh, wait, they didn't. And then the cops walked by. We saw the cops walk by and not help her. How do we know that? Oh, right, cameras. Huh. And then that guy, when we grabbed him immediately, right? Oh, no, wait, we didn't. Huh. It's almost like the cameras don't stop crimes. Now, were we able to get the guy later on that we let him go? By the way, we let him go. He just walked away. Did we get him later because of cameras? Yes. So I keep saying it. Do cameras assist police force in solving crimes faster? Yes, that's true. Do they stop crimes? No. Remember Luigi? We saw Luigi do his thing, didn't we? How'd we see that? Oh, right, cameras. Wait a minute. It's almost like cameras don't stop crimes because they don't. Because they don't.
Eye view of what's happening, and we have a very heavy focus on our subways.
On surveillance, not on safety. On surveillance.
NYPD working with the city to help cover the cost of overtime over the last couple of years. Deployed officers over on the overnight trains, which is, in large part a reason some of the hotbeds areas where we've seen a lot of crime in the past have declined precipitously.
Now that's true. She's right. This part is accurate. When you put physically more cops on trains, you will see less crime. That's true. Now, I don't like the fact there's a cop on every train. However, whether I like that or not, it's an accurate statement, right? If you do put enough cops on the trains, you will cut crime. That's true. Absolutely true. Now, in case you didn't notice, just the other day, a couple people were arrested on the street when they pulled a knife out by a cop who was right there. So the cop was right there, and they pulled the knife out. The cop was right there. So when the kid pulled the knife out, the cop drew his firearm. So doesn't stop crime, but definitely, absolutely, it does lower crime. So if you make the entire state a city a police state, you will have less crime. True, but the cameras don't work.
We installed 33,000 cameras. You heard me talk about this. This is my goal.
She saw it. That's her goal. 33,000 cameras. Have we fixed the switches so the trains don't collapse when it rains? No. I tease and I will say New York City is a great city until it rains. Then it becomes Mogadishu. That's what happens. Because all of a sudden trains don't work anymore. Why? Because all the switches get broken. Yes, because when the sewers flood, what comes to the top? Rats. Correct. If you live in New York City, you know what I'm talking about. When it's heavy floods, the rats don't want to drown, so they come out of the sewers and they come onto the streets. That's what happens in New York City when it's a terrible rain. So we could fix the rat problem, or we could fix the switch problem. No. Well, cameras. This way, when they start burning people alive, we get to at least see it. So I guess there's that.
Just a couple of years ago, I wanted it done, and now we have them on every single subway car. And
that's great. Every subway car, we can watch people be killed.
Platform barriers and LED lighting. We're going to continue doing that just to brighten up the experience, which gives this sense.
See, we want to brighten the experience up. We want to brighten it up. See, here's her thought process. If we brighten up the experience, they'll have less chance they'll want to put someone on fire. That's her thought process. That's not good, but that's her thought process. See, we'll brighten it up. Then we'll all feel good and it'll be bright. So we won't want to set anyone on fire in the subways. See, she's thinking 4D chess, guys. 4D
more
chess.
Security, but also it's more of a deterrent to would-be wrongdoers as well. And these efforts.
Yeah, when there's light, they don't set people on fire when it's light. They don't do that. It's true. She knows.
Efforts are starting to pay off. You cannot argue with the fact that this summer, the months of July and August, we saw crimes hit record lows, lowest in recorded history, safest summer on the record in over a decade. But as we know,
she's not wrong. It's getting better.
One incident is one too many. We just a couple days ago, we had a horrific attack at a subway station in Brooklyn.
We did.
A reminder that we can never let up when it comes to safety. Now, let's focus not just on what we're doing, but what the federal government is doing to us.
See, the federal government's wrecking us. That's that damn Trump. You guys, you know Trump is bad, right? In case you guys didn't know, you might not have known this, but what she's going to tell you is the orange man is bad. I know something like, what is that? That's a thing. It's true. The orange man is bad. I know some of you like, I've never heard that before. No. It's true. He's a bad guy. She's going to tell you he's a bad guy. And whatever happened in your world, in your life, it's his fault. It's true. He said, wait a minute, Larry. I burned my lasagna. It's Trump's fault. He did it. He came in your house. He had a ninja mask on. He came in your house and he messed with the oven so that now when you thought it was 400, it was actually 550. And that's why your lasagna burnt, is because Trump. Just so you're aware, that's the reason. So whatever goes wrong, you don't have to ask the question. You know already.
And in a stark moment of hypocrisy.
See, it's that hypocrisy. Mike knows because Orange Man bad. See, Michael knows. It's true. Orange Man is bad. He gets it. You guys, the rest of you guys got to get it. He gets it. You guys don't.
Federal government is literally threatening our ability to keep these operations safe.
Now, here's my problem. She's actually not wrong when she says this. Well, kind of, but she says the federal government's threatening our ability to keep these projects going in safety. True in that New York State can't do it with the federal government. That's not a threat, though. It's federal money that the state shouldn't be getting in general. It's more than what we give, right? So it's basically a bailout. I'm not joking. It's basically a bailout, right? So the federal government's bailing out the states because they're failing. Right? The states are failing, so the government's bailing them out. I'm not joking. New York State gets about an $18 to $20 billion bailout every year, not including COVID. Because it's what I mean by that. The state gives X dollars, and the federal government gives X dollars plus 18 to 20 billion. That's the bailout part. So the federal government bails out New York State by at least 20 billion every year. That's why they do it every year. The state needs a bailout every year. Now, not just New York State. This is most states, right? Most states are in trouble. So most states are getting bailouts every year, right? As Roger mentioned earlier, North Dakota is not. See, if you live in North Dakota, you'd be set. Andrea brings it up perfectly. Mismanagement is rewarded. I tell you all the time, when it comes to government, your reward for failure is more money. That's how that works. Your reward for failure is more money. So you suck, then here's money because you suck. So clearly you wouldn't suck if you had more money. So here's more money. Now, in theory, though, to be forward, if it was like a loan or some way to build up, I wouldn't necessarily be against it in theory, right? If a state was in trouble and said, hey, federal government, we had a problem like with the lockdowns or whatever. We were dumb and we locked our people down. We shouldn't have done that. We screwed up. Hey, can you spot us $25 billion? We'll build it up and we'll pay you back. It's a one-time help out and we'll pay you back with interest. Not the end of the world, right? If it was that type of thing, I'm not necessarily against that. The state wants it, the federal government gets it, and we get paid back. It's fine. Whatever. The world wouldn't end. That would be a much better system that we all would be states and the federal government would help out one when it's in trouble. That's fine. That's not what it is. It's all about grants. Now, here's the problem. It's a grant. So in theory, if it's a grant, the state has to apply for that grant in theory every year. Hey, we have a problem. Federal government can give me money. The problem is the federal government says yes every single year, no matter what, and has been saying so for 20 years. So now she counts on that money. She counts on that money. It has to happen now. It just has to come. But it's a grant, which means the federal government can say no. No, they can't. That's a threat. Now, what should have happened? I mean, I'm fooling myself, but I'm just saying what should have happened. What should have happened is after New York State was dumb and locked itself down and crushed itself, right? After it did that, it should have said, did not, should have said, hey, can we have some money so we can make things better so we don't need you anymore? That's even funny that I say that. But yes, that's what should have happened. What did happen? Oh, great. Here's an excuse for us to be more dependent upon you. More dependent. About 38% of New York State's budget comes directly from the federal government. Yep. 38%. That's why she's crying. She's like, if I don't get my federal money, she can't pay her bills. She can't pay her bills. And what has she done to change that? Nothing. Nothing.
Our ability to protect public transit riders becomes compromised. Homeland Security Secretary Chris.
So literally, again, the MTA, a local system here in New York City, which used to function on its own, just as a private company, now cannot function without city tax dollars, state tax dollars. We have to pay for it. And she needs money from the federal government, from Uncle Donnie, to pay her bills.
Noem is trying her very best to slash $34 million
See, Kristi Noem hates
in
us.
funds that is essential for security on our subway systems.
Why does Kristi Noem hate us? We're not even a dog. I don't know why she hates us.
And this is a person who swore an oath, as we all did, swore an oath to protect Americans.
Okay, hold on. This always drives me crazy. My governor, sorry, I apologize. Please don't have me arrested. My monarch, Queen Kathy, first of her name, worshiper of the jab, destroyer of businesses, banisher of conservatives, all hail. She has told us that she told us more than once that she has taken an oath to protect all New Yorkers, keep them safe, and it's her right. I'm not joking. Her words. Her right as governor to protect all New Yorkers. I would ask her, where did she get that from? She just made that up. No one takes an oath. No one takes an oath to protect all Americans. No one does. It's not a thing. The oath you take, which I took multiple times when as a Marine, I took the oath multiple times. And that oath is to protect and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That is the oath you take. I didn't oath, I'm going to protect all Americans. I never took that oath. No one does. That's not a thing. She made that up. She took an oath to protect all Americans. No, she didn't. Kristi Noem took a, no, she didn't. Neither did she. She just decides that I have an idea. Stop trying to protect every American and make the state not suck. I know I'm asking a lot. I am asking a lot. I know I am. I'm asking a lot. But here's my request. Stop trying to protect all Americans. I mean, because you're doing a shitty job of it anyway. Instead, why don't we make the state not suck? That's just where I am. Maybe I'm crazy.
And is truly abandoning that. But I'm going to be very clear on what is happening from Washington.
That.
They are defunding the police.
See that? You guys thought it was Mom Donnie doing that. That's not Mom Donnie. He's not defunding the police. Freaking Trump is. The whole time. It was Trump the whole time defunding the police. You thought it was Mom Donnie. You thought it was her when she decided to endorse Mom Donnie. You thought that it was Mom Donnie doing it. No, it was Trump the whole time. It's like Scooby-Doo. When they pull off the hood, it was Trump the whole time. He was the guy defunding the police, and you didn't know it. He was playing 9D chess. Mike, you must be ashamed right now. You realize you didn't know. Mike Voss is pissed right now. He didn't know Trump was defunding the police. Luckily, our monarch has let us know. It's Trump defunding the police the whole time. Okay, there we go. It's done and done. Trump's Mom Donnie. We didn't know that, but hey, is what it is. I mean, our queen would never lie to us, would she? I mean, she told us she talks to God, so God probably told her. God told her. That's what happened. She, by the way, if those who don't know, she literally says she talks to God. I'm not making that up. She says she talks to God. So probably God told her that Trump was trying to defund the police the whole time, and she's now letting us know. So good. Okay. I wish I had a straight line like that, but she does. What are you going to do?
Stop. They cannot argue with the fact that there was funding to help the police, protect our communities, and the federal government without justification.
No justification. They just said defund the police.
No rationale other than a punitive gesture to punish blue states like New York.
See, you people in New York who aren't blue, you don't count. You don't count. You don't count. That's it. Becky says, wait, isn't defunding the police what the left wants? Yep. So she should be happy about it. Wait a minute. You're right. Wait a minute. Okay, this is not making sense now. Shouldn't she then be happy? Shouldn't she now be going, Trump's great because he's defunding the police now? Because that's what I wanted the whole time? Shouldn't Mamdani now endorse Trump because he's defunding the police? You're right. Becky, something's wrong here. If Trump's defunding the police, Mamdani should be on his side now, right? So basically, is Trump a member of the DSA? Or is Mamdani a secret Republican? I got to call Alex Jones. To figure this out. I can't tell. Is Mamdani a secret Republican? Or is Trump actually a member of DSA? Oh, wow. Okay, Becky, this is going deep. This is going deep. I'm not sure. Someone's playing 6D chess, but it's not me. I don't know who it is. Yeah, there we go. Mass Manalo says she only found Jesus because she just didn't see her coming. Yeah, but he probably heard her because she's pretty loud. So I'm not sure. Yes. Michael says she talks to angels. They call her out by her name. Name? I think you're quoting something which I'm not getting. So yes. Brana says SCOTUS has ruled on a few occasions the police are under no obligation to protect and serve you. Correct. They are enforcers of the law. That's true. Yep. That's true. But let me go. I know I've been teasing a lot. Let me be real on this, though. I want you to hear what she's saying. She's saying Donald Trump's defunding the police. All right. Even if that were true, let's assume that it's true. I mean, whatever. Let's assume that it's true. How can a president defund a city's police force? That shouldn't be a thing, right? The president should not have any ability to defund the police. Shouldn't be a thing. Local people should be policed how they want to be policed. They should be paying for it. They should be dealing with it. It shouldn't matter what Trump does. If Trump wanted to defund the police, didn't want to defund the police, doesn't matter whatsoever, shouldn't matter. The fact that Trump could, in theory, even in theory, defund the police should be an embarrassment to us all. And this is my bigger problem. If I become governor one day, I hope I will go out of our way to cut the strings between New York State and the dollars coming from the federal government, so I'll never have to make this pitch ever. So that no governor will ever have to make this pitch ever. And when the federal government says, we're going to cut funding, we go, I didn't ask for it anyway. I don't care. I don't care. Why can't we be more like North Dakota? I don't care. Okay? We're not going to give you the billions of dollars for so-and-so. I didn't ask for it, homeboy. Have a nice day. In fact, I'm going to sue you to get my money back. That's what I'm going to do. I don't need your bailout. That's what we have to do. And we're not. Oh, it's the Black Crows. Sorry. I didn't get it. Sorry, guys. Didn't get it. I apologize. So, all righty. Nicholas asked the important question. Are they investing any grant money into things that make more money than they receive? Nicholas is supposed to. That's the point. But they don't. But no. Right? So that's the smart thing. That would make sense. I agree with you. They should be doing that. They should be taking the grant money shouldn't be a ongoing, state welfare from the federal government. It should be, thank you for the grant. Let me now improve my state so I don't need the grant next year. But that's not how it happens. This now becomes a state entitlement, which is what it is. It's just entitlement. That's all it is. Yes, yes, and yes. Mike Voss in the house, who I know he's mad because now he just found out Trump is the one actually defunding the police the whole time. I'm sorry, Mike. I don't mean mad. I know I gave you some news you didn't want to hear, but maybe he was secret TSA the whole time. I don't know. Anyway, given that Trump eliminated DEI policy from the Biden-Harris, only a fool believed he he supports it in New York State. Hochul thinks voters are such fools. She blames Republicans for Democrat failed policies. All those things are issues. And once you end the DEI policies, one of the reasons why I did it was it also becomes easier to fire and lay off people because there's less lawsuits. Lawsuits aren't as powerful because without DEI policies, you're not breaking policies. So it makes it easier to fire people, believe it or not. That's one of the reasons why I'm sure he did it. And also now what he's done, in case you don't notice, is a lot of other companies now are ending their DEI policies because Trump has said that the federal government won't do business with you if you have those policies. So it's ending DEI all over the place. That's true. And the same thing with New York State. You got to end those also. So yeah, I think that's also true. Yes. Hochul thinks voters are such fools. I'm not sure she cares, Mike. She just has to make sure she keeps her donors bringing the money in. And so far, she still has donors. So that's what she cares about. She cares far more about her donor class than the voters. As you know, the state's 3-1 Democrat to Republican. Unless some very handsome man runs for governor and can beat her, unless that happens, she's going to win again. And I feel like it's very challenging for her to even care. Why would she even care? She's just trying to keep her head above water with the voters, that's all, and keep her donors in. And she blames Republicans for Dem failed policies. Yes, and this is the point. Someone asked me this on my radio show today. I don't know if you happen to be watching the radio show today, Mike. Someone asked me that question. You know, what's going to happen when all her policies begin to fail in January, right? Particularly her policy to get rid of all of the natural gas, right? You know it, Mike. I mean, I know you know this, right? I'm preaching to the choir here. She's just going to blame Trump. It's because Trump did it. But your policy suck. No, Trump. Trump's a secret DSA member who wants to defund the police. But wait a minute. She should love that now because she supports Mamdani. Are they all on the same team? They are. It's all a joke. They're all on the same team, Mike. They fooled us all. So, yes, I do love that. Lunatic is in the house. So good to see that. I like that. All righty. Let's see here. Mastermind says, I didn't answer the poll because I've seen zero evidence of the police being defunded. Hold on. Let me check the poll here real fast before I say that. Let me grab the poll. So I have it.
You sell it.
Where is my poll here? All right. Do you think defunding the police has been great effective idea? Hold on. Help criminals commit crimes. Ultimately more costly. Tool for equity/social justice. Yeah, we haven't defunded the police. That's right. I agree with you. We have not defunded the police. But is it a good idea? I've always said that defunding the police is a bad idea. Can you change how you fund police? Sure. I think local people should be able to fund the police how they see fit. Do they think they should rely upon their sheriff's department? Should they hire more local police? Should they hire more private security in their own area? I don't care. I mean, whatever. You should be policed as you see fit. The federal government should have no say in how you're policed. State government maybe, but it should be much more of a county, city level. And you get police as you see fit. If you think hiring a police chief and a police force is right for your town, city, county, okay. If you're happy with the sheriff, keep a sheriff's department. Doesn't matter. I mean, whatever's going to work for you. I don't care at all. I think people should be able to be policed as they see fit. Community should decide, right? If the communities want to have more community policing, if they would rather have that, I'm okay with that too. I don't want to judge people by how they're policed. I just want to judge it by the outcomes. So are the people happy and safe? Then they're policed effectively. If they're not happy and safe, then they're not. That's the issue. So yeah, I think I get why you said that, Mastermind. I understand your concern. I do. I understand your concern completely. All righty. Let's see here. Yes, by the way, I am streaming now on Instagram, on Sharpe Way Instagram. So those of you who love Instagram, I'm streaming on Sharpe Way Instagram. If you want to go see Instagram, Sharpe Way, you may go over there and look at it if you like. So please go ahead and do that. So yes. All righty. Let me keep going here. I think I grabbed that one already. Grab a couple more. Let's keep going.
But here in New York is very unique. Of the 21 regions that have applied for this funding.
So 21 regions applied. I keep saying that. You have to apply, right? We apply for the funding because it is a grant you must apply every week, every year. But she now has said, no. I'm owed this. This is no longer a grant. This is now an entitlement.
To security funding. New York is the only one that's been denied. So this is not hyperbole. This is not exaggerating. This is the reality. We have been singled out.
And look, I want to try to give credit where credit is due. She has a valid point in that New York has been singled out. True. Accurate statement. True. But you knew who Trump was. You knew how he acted. You knew what he does and how he does it. You had an opportunity earlier this year to head on down there and make a deal with him. You had that choice. You are our leader. I mean, you're not, but you're our elected, not really. You're our monarch. There we go. You are our monarch. Why didn't you go down there and negotiate with him? The guy negotiates on everything, whether you like Trump or not. In fact, a lot of people who like Trump get mad that he does that. I get it. Fine, whatever. He's a deal maker. Literally, he's a deal maker. He will change his mind overnight if he can get a deal done. Why didn't you go down there and get a deal to where this would have been done? You didn't. All you do is complain and whine and complain and grandstand. And what happens? New York State suffers. New York State suffers because you don't have an answer for this. She has no answer for this. No answer how to fix it. No answer how to make it better. No answer how to get around it. Her answer is, Uncle Don's going to give us money. That's it. I mean, and I won't even fix it anyway. That just make more cameras. So, Phil, thank you for $2. What incentives do bureaucrats have to cut spending? Literally none. None. The opposite's true. Zero. You are correct. Straight Dan is over on Rumble. He says, I'm a bit behind, but does LED lighting make the videos more sellable to more sellable to cop TV? It could be that. They want better lighting, so when the videos come out, they can sell them to like bad boys, what you gonna do? Yeah, see, I'm singing my song. Yes, that's it. Yeah. He says Budweiser and Pfizer might sponsor this, just trying to help with the money problem. You know, you're thinking, straight in. You are thinking. The problem is if they actually had Budweiser and Pfizer, they'd want results. That's the problem. This does not have to have any results. That's to remember. No results required here at all. That's the issue. No results required. As long as we don't have any results required, we are good to go. All right, let me keep going if I can.
20 years, Democrat and Republican administrations have funded these essential dollars.
It's true for all these years. And to Nicholas's point from earlier, did you invest this someplace? Did you invest this someplace so you wouldn't need the money? No. You just thought, oh, good. Now I have another source of income. These grants from the federal government. That's what she thought. Now I get a bailout every single year.
It supports police patrols, security cameras, canine units, and
think about that. Police patrols, the most basic things of policing. Canine units, the most basic pieces. New York State cannot do the most basic parts of policing without federal dollars. Why isn't she ashamed?
Cybersecurity measures. It bolsters security along Metro North and the Long Island Railroad as well, two of the busiest rail systems in the entire nation. And now Secretary Noem wants to claw back every penny.
Claw back. She's going to claw back every penny. No. How about she doesn't want to say yes to the grant that you were supposed to not have anymore? No, she's going to claw back because she's evil too. I mean, she's not as bad as the Orange Man, but she's pretty bad.
And I say this, it's reckless, it's dangerous, and it's illegal. So
remember, it's always dangerous. It's always dangerous. That's their word. It's dangerous and reckless and illegal. It's illegal to not give me federal money that is in a grant. I guess it is.
So what we have here is an opportunity to stand up. We are standing up.
They standing up.
I've written, I've cajoled, I've asked. We're in court literally at 11 a.m. this morning. We are in court to defend our rights. Thank you, Attorney General Tish James. But we shouldn't have to battle this out in court. We truly should not have to be in court over something as basic as providing security for our...
Do you hear how she says it? We shouldn't be in court. over something as basic as securing this money for security. She honestly, in her head, she 100% believes she's owed this money. That's not a joke. It's owed her. She deserves that. It's a grant. It's a grant. And she honestly believes she is owed the money. You can hear it in her voice.
Systems here. And I don't need to repeat this. But clearly Washington doesn't understand that when you're assessing applications for security grants to fight terrorism as well.
Yeah.
And you put...
Oh, so she threw the terrorism piece in there. So it's terrorism as well. Okay, that's it. Do the other 21 places also have that too?
Put New York State at the bottom of the list. New York City, the bottom of the list. We are the #1 terror target in America. Not just back to 9/11, but the countless cases that are thwarted.
Oh, we hear that. She said the countless cases that are thwarted. Please keep that in mind, what she said. #1, and the countless cases that are thwarted. Okay, so people trying to blow up New York all day long. Okay.
By the work of the NYPD and our Joint Terrorism Task Force. Those don't make the headlines, but we...
Now, you know that's a lie. That's my problem. That's a lie. She is literally lying to you. What do I mean by that? You're telling me if there was some plot, I don't know, to blow up a station or whatever her imaginary plot she made up, they're going to blow up a station or they're going to whatever plot, and it was foiled, she'd keep it under her hat. She wouldn't tell you because that's not going to make the headlines. She would be touting that every single day for months on end. For months. Eric Adams would be talking about it every single day. Tish would be talking about that stuff all day long. Oh, we stopped him and we got him. Yeah. Stop. They don't make the headlines. Blatant lie. Total and utter lie. You think, yeah, there's probably stopped like 100 every day. They don't tell us about it. Why wouldn't they? If they were stopping 100 a day or whatever insane number she's trying to make you believe, the countless ones. I mean, she can't even count. There's so many, she can't count them. That's why she didn't tell us. I answered my own question. She would be telling me, but they are countless, so she cannot count them. Therefore, she can't tell us because there's too many to count. Otherwise, she would tell us. Okay, that's the reason why, I guess. Utter horseshit.
Are safer because we have invested dollars from the federal government and the city and the state together. That is...
If that's true, you've been investing billions of dollars for 20 years. Why do you still require $20 billion every year?
What they're jeopardizing right now. Our safety has been compromised.
See that?
So we live to that fear. We do not ever want to see a repeat of it, that sense of anxiety.
Are we still back on 9/11? Are we going to be cucked for 24 years on that shit? I'm sorry that sounds horrible. I know. I'm just so tired of it. I'm so tired of how that one day just broke us. Like we just broke so many of us. And then the lockdowns came and we just broken again. A city of people who used to be there, I'm walking here, people, to all of a sudden, don't hurt us. That's who we are now. I am so embarrassed by this. I'm born and raised in this city, and I don't remember this city when I was young being this way. And she's the worst of it. She just jumps right on board. We can't have that sphere again. 24 years ago? Jesus Christ. At what point do we just go, no, we're going to live our lives? I guess never. I guess never.
And insecurity still pervades many of our lives. And
why? It was 24 years ago and a one shot in how many hundreds of years? Why?
I just want to ask, Secretary Noem, how do you weaponize the federal government against a place like New York, against federal workers as well?
You're weaponizing. See that, Kristi Noem? You're weaponizing the federal government against people. You're mean. Not even a dog.
How are you playing political games with our lives?
She never does. She never plays political games ever. You're
the
right.
lives of people who call this place their home. And just last week, this is a trend. Just last week, Secretary Noem attempted to cancel $187 million in counterterrorism grants.
Okay.
I wrote to her, made our arguments.
See?
Called the president.
Called the
and
president.
Soon after our call, I'm very pleased, and I thank him. The president reversed course.
So here's what Trump did. Trump said, oh, Kristi Noem said you can't have 187 million. All right, you can have it. That's what Trump said. She was like, yeah, I won. But then what happened?
And announced plans to restore the funding. Now, I need that again. I need that help again. We need to get this money restored. We need this right now. And I will say this, I disagree with the president on many, many issues. In fact, most.
Yeah.
But there are areas.
She has, here's the problem. And this is a problem in all of our politics. You always have to virtue signal. She says again, why does she have to say, I disagree with him on many things? Why do you have to say that? Does anyone think that Kathy Hochul likes Trump or something? Was that required? Like, did someone go, oh my gosh, she loves Trump all of a sudden? Is that what someone's thinking? You know what? For some Democrats, yes, if you don't insult him 24/7. That's true. So if she went, I'm asking the president for help, what would they go? How dare her ask the president for help? Oh my God, she loves Trump now. She's become a Republican now. That's what her own people would say. Republicans wouldn't say that. They would know that's not true. Conservatives wouldn't say it. Independents wouldn't say it. Greens and libertarians wouldn't say it. We party people would not say that. We wouldn't go, oh my God, she's a Trumpster now. None of us would say it. Her own people would turn on her. That's why she says that. Her own people would turn on her if she didn't immediately go, well, I hate the guy. I mean, I need stuff, but I hate him. She has to say that. If she just said, I'm looking for Trump, the president, I need my cash, I need to get my money. She just said that only, which is true. That's what she wants. I need my cash. President, give me my money. No Republican, no conservative, no libertarian, no Green Party would go, oh my God, she's become one of them. No one would say that. They're like, oh no, she just wants her cash. I get it. You just want your money, right? They'd all say that. They might insult her and go, why'd you yell at him? Why'd you shake your fist at him for so long? Which is what I'm saying. That was dumb, right? You thought you could just shake your fist at him and then still get what you want. Now, you might say, Larry, it's politics, it's people, it's lives. Politics shouldn't matter. You're right. Politics should matter. But it does in every way, shape, and form. And I tell you all the time, and some of you don't believe me, politics is surprisingly petty. I wish it wasn't. I do think that in theory, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't. But that should. That's not real world. I'd love it if I could wave my magic wand and make us all love and care and we'd all get puppies. It'd be amazing. And if I had the magic wand, I would do it. I don't have it. It's not how it works. And she should know better.
Is where we should be aligned. And when people say that they're pro-law enforcement, the wearing of the blue, and yet they're willing to defund our police, it's hypocrisy.
See, it's hypocrisy, you guys. But wait a minute. See, Becky brings up the right thing. Becky said, if he's really defunding the police, Mamdani wants to defund the police, why won't she backs Mamdani? She should be happy. They should be shaking hands. She should be like, hey, Trump, finally on board with defunding the police. About time, where you been? That's what she should be saying. But she's not. This is weird. Or could it be maybe Trump's not really defunding the police? Somebody's playing 6D chess. So I'm saying. John says, defund the police is bad, but cashless bail is worse, and putting repeat violent offenders back on the street an hour after their 50th arrest is even worse. Agreed. Yes, and if I remember right, what was the average again in New York City? Was it 18? Oh, it was in the teens. The average repeat offender who was committing crimes had been arrested like 18 times. I think it's 18 times. Yeah, and that one guy, if you remember that one guy who was like, he's the outlier, but still, that he shouldn't exist. He was like 87 times. I'm not joking. It was like 86 or 87 times he was arrested. Yeah, before he stabbed somebody. Again, like he had done bad stuff in the past, then he stabbed somebody. So yeah, 87 times. So it doesn't matter. You're right. Defund the police at that point. Who cares? Because you're funding them, and then they're arresting people, and they're coming back out anyway. Just defund them. You're right. Just defund them and just leave the guy out. I mean, why waste the money? Good point. You know, John, your point's taken. If you're going to have terrible barrel reform, just defund the police then. Who cares? Don't spend the money. They're going to be out anyway. You just wasting time. Leave them out. I'm with you. You actually make sense. I'm with you.
And it must be called out. But it's not just that.
It must be called out.
It's critical infrastructure projects. $18 billion.
$18 billion bailout to New York State to build stuff. I told you that we get about a $20 billion bailout every year. Yes, every year. So instead of saying, let me build things so that we can make money or raise our tax base or get our businesses back or find ways of raising money throughout taxation. What governor candidate talks about that? Oh, wait, right, me. Like that. Or just keep taking the money. Bronna says, when the left screeches, defund the police, what they really want is a centralized police force. When the anarchist says defund the police, we want competing police forces. True point. You're right. When an anarchist says defund the police, the anarchist means community policing only. That's true. That's what they actually mean. They mean community policing only, community deciding how they're policed. That's what anarchists mean. That's true. When the left says that, they really want, you're right. They want a centralized police force. It's true. They do. You're not wrong. But they thought it sounded cool. The funny part is, think of the bubble you have to be in. Think of the bubble you have to be in to think that, hey, guys, here's what we're going to say. I got this idea. What, Louis? We're going to start telling people, defund the police. What? Yeah. We're going to tell people, don't pay the cops nothing. Defund them. The cops. Yeah. Huh. Brilliant. I love it. Let's do it. Let's run with it. That happened. That happened. What kind of bubble do you got to be in with somebody that any other room you're in, they go, what, are you stupid? Don't tell people that. They're going to kill you now. That's dumb. What? Don't say that. Everyone in any other room, that's what would have happened. Louis, you're an idiot. You smoking something? Stop. That's a dumb idea. But in that room Louis was in, they were like, brilliant. They're going to love it. They're going to love us. It's a great, we are so in. We're going to win every election with that one. They actually thought that. That's the worst part. So, yes.
Dollars and 15,000 jobs on the line because of the abrupt cancellation of federal dollars for the.
Think about that. We can't build anything in New York State. Remember last week I did that show? I was upset. And some of you didn't care, but you were wrong. I'm always right. Anyway, you guys, I'm not always. I'm 99.9% repeating right. Anyway, the point being, I was upset because we can't build anything in America anymore. This is a perfect example of that. This is regular infrastructure in New York State. Regular infrastructure. I'm not talking some massive bridge across a massive gap with what the Chinese have, with that restaurant at the top and the bungee jumping and amusement park. No. This is just a regular old bridge and roads. We can't do it. And a tunnel. We can't do it. Unless the federal government gives $18 billion, 15,000 jobs. We built the Empire State Building. Private money. They just built the goddamn Empire State Building. It still exists today. For those who don't know, still here. Built it. Was it almost 100 years ago now? Almost 100 years ago. So 80, 90 years old? Whatever. Still here. People still in it. Built it. Private money. We built the original subway system. Private money. We just built it. People just went and built the goddamn thing. Now we can't. And she isn't going, you know what? Wake up call. Oh my God, this is an embarrassment. Change it. No, you got to give me more money. That's our answer.
2nd Avenue subway and the Gateway Tunnel. And the Gateway Tunnel is.
You can't build a subway. I'm not joking. You can't build a subway. It's a subway. Can't do it. Can't do it. Terrible. Yes. All right. I want to ask a question, guys. If you could, please click the like button. It does matter. I want you to click the button that is like, if you could. It does matter. I bug you all the time about it. So please do it if you can. There's something else I want you to do. All right. If you are looking right now at the cities talking about, New York City, all those other cities that we talked about. Here's what I want you to do. Do me a favor. Head on over to the link that's in YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble, where it says link to the advocates. Head on over to the advocates, click that link, and when you head over there, go over to their articles. Click on the articles, click over on economics, and then head on down to this one right here. Are American cities on a path to bankruptcy? Jose Nino wrote this. So short read, wrote a couple months ago. Read about this. It talks about the actual state of cities in America, how much debt they're in, what they have to pay, what's going on, what can we do? It's very short. Check it out, what they're doing. Once you're done reading it, do me a favor. Grade it, 1 through 10. What'd you think of it? Is it a 10? Is it a 1? Is it 0? What is it? Click it, and then submit that, and then share it. And when you share it, please put that same link that I told you about. Please put that same link in there and share it. If you share it, you know what happens? People will come and read this. When people come to read this, they'll share it too. And when they share it, people keep talking about it. Most people don't realize whether American cities are on a path to bankruptcy or not. They are. But you can figure it out right here. And you can read this, understand some cool stuff, look at some of the details, and then be able to speak clearly on it and get other people to speak clearly on it. And maybe they start thinking, maybe this current system isn't working. Maybe there's another way to make this work. The people who do this are the advocates for self-government. This should make Bruno happy. We're talking about self-government. Yes, the more you think this way, the more you can see other pathways to success. Guys, do me a favor. They sponsor our show. It does matter tremendously. Head on over there. It's free. I'm not asking for a dime. Costs you 3 minutes of time. And then share it. Do it. Do it today. Do it now. I don't care. Do it after the show, but do it. Please read it and share it. Keep that going. It does matter. I want more people seeing what the advocates for self-government are doing. I want more people reading their articles, more people sharing their stuff. It does matter. Please do it. Thank you guys so much. They are sponsoring our show, and it does matter. Thank you. All right. I'm going to keep going if I can. I'm going to grab some more comments. I have so many comments. I'm going to grab some. Ingrid says, cameras can be a tool to help law enforcement, but will not stop crime. True. Yes. And there has to be a sensitivity for privacy concerns. It's a fine line. There is none. That's the problem, Ingrid. There is no sensitivity for privacy concerns. I wish there was. I would feel better if I believed that was the case. I would. I would feel better if I thought there was anything going there at all. There is not. There is no sensitivity. It is just we need more and more and more and more and more cameras. And I don't care about your privacy. I don't care what you're thinking. I don't care what, that does not matter. That's the problem, that it doesn't exist. So yes, but yeah. All right. Let me get down here if I can. Hold on. I have a couple more of these I'm going to grab. All righty. Michael says, New York State needs more happy Mexican-American Hispanic women. Oh, okay. I like that. All I see is the land of boring white ladies for basketball, baggy clothes, and miserable, not my type. I love happy Mexican women. Well, good for you, Michael. I hope we have more happy Mexican women. I'm glad it's your type. I hope your type isn't only Mexican. I hope I'm going to take it as it's Hispanic in general is my thought process, but maybe I'm wrong. You can tell me if I'm wrong, but I hope you're able to find I'm going to use the phrase Latina. I hope that doesn't offend anybody. Do I do it Latin X? I could do that, but you don't want an X. You want an So you're straight. You want an No worries. So I hope you're able to find a lovely Latina woman, Michael. I hope you are. Good for you. You know what you want. I like that. All right. So, oh, good, I guess. Yes. Andrea says, I want a grant. I need money too. Don't we all? Ingrid asked an important question. Do you think that if New York State no longer receives subsidies, would they fix the state money issues or will they just continue to deteriorate? Yeah, they're not fixing anything. No, they're not fixing anything. That's not a thing. I wish it were true, Ingrid. I wish it were true. But no, they're not going to fix any of that stuff. That's not a thing at all. I wish it was. I wish it was. Hold on. I got to grab. Okay. All right. I think I got that one down. Okay, good. Let me keep going. I got a couple more of these if I can. Mastermind Hour says the ASL interpreter's paws are so big, she slurs her signs. That's cute. I mean, kind of mean, but yes, that is kind of cute. I do like that. Nice. All righty. Michael says, very true. How dare Hochul to show the public the oath she claims to have taken? Yeah, you're right. She hasn't. It's a lie. Yes, totally correct. Mike, you took the oath too. You and I both we both took the oath. It's not a thing. She makes the oath up. It's not a thing. So, yeah. Kim says, defund Queen Hochul. That'd be nice. I like that one. Yes. So, all right, let me keep grabbing if I could. I want to head on back. There's a couple more things I do want to show you that I think are kind of funny with what she chatted about. All righty. And boom, and we are good.
Not a vanity project. It's a matter of life and death. If this tunnel cannot be built to replace the aging, compromised tunnel that we have that was damaged over a decade ago at Superstorm Sandy, then we are compromising people's health and safety, not just in our region, but the entire Northeast. We also have to make sure that we focus on other.
Yeah. This tunnel I've been talking about is the tunnel that I've been talking about this tunnel for a while. This tunnel needed to be built literally years ago. I mean, years ago it needed to be built. We should be building it a long time ago. It's the tunnel that goes between Manhattan and Jersey. It's only one line. And so train goes through, they wait. Train goes through, they wait. It slows the entire corridor down. She's right. We've wanted to fix it for literally 20 years. We can't build it. Why? Because we can't build anything. All we'd have to do is, the appropriate response is, hey, big company that drops billions of dollars every year on all kind of garbage that means nothing. Why don't you build a tunnel? That's not one railroad, one track. That's 3. Build it 3 wide. You'll have preferential treatment to bring your freight through on one of them. Go. It'd be built in 2 years, maybe a year. I'm not making it up. 2 years, maybe a year. That's it. That's the appropriate answer. But we can't do that because she said it. 15,000 jobs. As I keep telling you, her goal is to literally control the jobs. She wants to control all the jobs. That's the issue. And she doesn't.
Members of Congress who have some clout. Let's talk about Long Island Congressman Andrew Garbarino. Now, he's on the right committee. I actually served on the Homeland Security Committee as a member of Congress, so I know these grants very well. He helped us. I will say he stepped outside of his party and helped us, had the guts to break out of the ranks and helped us add his voice to our calls to have that $187 million restored. But this affects his constituents. His riders on the Long Island Railroad will now know that without these funds, their ride is not as safe as it should be.
Their ride won't be as safe. See that? That's Trump's fault.
So I'm calling on him to weigh in as well. Use your voice. In fact, all 7 Republican members of Congress who call New York.
Okay. I love this part. She doesn't talk about the hypocrisy of Trump. All 7 members of Congress of New York, which I'm trying to redistrict down to 3. Literally. I'm trying to redistrict all of you out. But before I do that, you should all support me against Trump.
Home. Find the courage that's been missing to stand up for the safety of your own residents and stop the defunding of police in the state of New York. So otherwise, you sacrifice the mantle of being the law and order party, which you're not. You're not the party that backs the blue.
Wow. So, okay. Did you see what she just did? You got to help me out. Otherwise, insult, insult, insult. Because she has to insult them. This is our politics now. People, look. People tease Trump when he's like, you're an idiot, you're dumb. Then you're going to do something for him. He goes, you're the greatest guy in the world. Love you always. Why does he do that? Because he's trying to make a deal. I get it. She should learn. You're trying to make a deal with these guys. Don't insult them. But here's the issue. She's actually not trying to make a deal. She just wants the virtue signal. So that when things go wrong, she can blame the other. This is all about shifting blame.
And you have to start acting like you actually care. So don't be hypocrites. Help us out here.
Don't be hypocrites.
Larger issue is what is happening to our nation with this unjustified government shutdown. Republicans need to provide health care to Americans. It's a basic.
Oh, now that's it. See? This is the part I love. Republicans need to provide health care to Americans. So what's happening is now, I'm not saying, and we're very clear, I am not saying that the shutdown is not going to affect healthcare. It is. I'm not saying it's not going to affect the premiums. It is. But what she's saying is the Republicans are denying you healthcare. That's not true. That's just Democratic propaganda. That's not true. Is the shutdown going to cause higher premiums? Yes. But that isn't Republicans denying Americans health care. That's just propaganda. But again, there's Republican propaganda too, and the opposite. Like, this is all the Democrats' fault. No, it isn't. It's not. That's Democratic propaganda. This is a broken government system that neither side will fix. That's the truth.
Unjustified government shutdown. Republicans need to provide health care to Americans. It's a basic human right.
So now, not just that, this is what she just said. Republicans need to provide health care to all Americans. It's a basic human right. None of that's true. Again, she made all that up. But it sounds great, doesn't it? Republicans are evil. They won't give everybody health care. Why can't I have health care? Sure. I need to have health care. I can't have it. Why? Republicans stop me from having it. Not true, but doesn't matter. It's the government's job to give you health care? Yes. Bronner, this is the governor of New York saying it is the government's job to give you health care. It is a human right. The government must give you health care. This is the governor of New York, literally in a press conference. She will get zero pushback from that because the majority of New Yorkers believe she's correct. One more time. The majority of New Yorkers believe it is the government's job to give you health care. And if the government doesn't give you health care, you can't have any. There is no other possible way that you can get health care, Ronna. It can't happen. It's impossible. She's just shown you this. It's what they mean. It's what they think. This is why my goal is to just get people to think, wait a minute. Could there be another way of getting health care? Yeah. Yes, you could. How do I know that? That's what the wealthy do. The wealthy don't care about this. Why? They all have private doctors. They don't care. I'm not joking. They don't care. They all have private doctors. None of these guys who in government care because they either go to their premium stuff or they just go to private doctors. They have enough money. They're all millionaires, so they go to private doctors. They don't care. Yeah. I say this, Bronna, because I know I often tell you this is what people think. This is a perfect example of that. This is the governor of the fourth largest state in the union stating that government's job is to give you health care. And if they won't, you can't get it. Because there's no other way of there any way being a possible idea of that cannot happen. Can't happen. It's government or it's nothing. Yes.
And we're going to continue these fights. But a subset of all that is this blatant attack on New York simply because we elect Democrats. There's no other explanation.
No other explanation. We elect Democrats. That's it. And by the way, those 7 non-Democrats that I'm about to redistrict out of jobs, you better help us.
Look at the states that they continue the funding for these projects. Are they more at risk of a terrorism attack? Texas, Florida, Nevada? Give me a break.
Give me a break, you cheesy states. You don't count. You're not New York. Stupid Texas. Florida. Not a real state. Only New York's a real state. You don't get any terrorism in Texas. You don't get none of that. Nevada, Vegas. No, you don't. Never been a terrorist attack in Vegas ever, except for that terrible one. But otherwise, never, except for the other one. But never. Not in Vegas. What's wrong with you? Not New York. We had 9/11 24 years ago that we can never forget or ever give up ever in the history of ever. So everyone else sucks. God, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
This is New York. We need the support. We're demanding that it start being unleashed immediately. Thank you very much, and I'll turn it over to Jana Lieber.
All right. Come on out. Now, this is the guy who's been running the MTA for decades, and it's all sucked and whatever. Massmanower says, I'm all in favor of denying the police military equipment. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't. Massmanower, locally, people should be deciding how they want their police force outfitted. If people want a militarized police force, I'm not against it. Do as you see fit. If people don't want it, then don't. If you want your cops on bicycles with billy clubs, it's your neighborhood. It's your community. It's your city. If you want them out there with full riot gear, it's your neighborhood. It's your city. I'm not mad. I think people should be policed as they want to be policed, in which case they are happy and satisfied. And the best part is, if, to Bronner's point, we were actually competing against each other, we'd figure out what works best. We'd figure out which one works best. Like, wow, that makes more sense than that one. Or this city is like my city. We should copy them. Or this town is like my town, and that's working terribly. We should not copy them. That's what I'm happening. Over time, we'd have better policing. So, yes. Anyway, Jimmy Dayton's in there. How are you, my friend? But Larry, we can build the stadium. We don't get to pay for it. True. Good point. Good point. When she gives out the jobs, that we can build. Taxpayer dollars, that we can do. That's true. There we go. So there is something there, I guess, that we can do. Joe says Latinas are my favorites. There we go. Mike, you got a friend who else likes Latinas. Joe, with you. There we go. Same page. Oh, good. No judgment, guys. So Ryan says, thank you for $2. Hochul just went scorched earth in the New York GOP. I know. She doesn't get it. She doesn't get it at all. Yes, absolutely. Bruno says, right on, Larry. Think of all the malls in America. They hire their own police that are directly accountable to the stores that pay them, and there's competition. That's it. That's it. I don't mind this at all. Again, let people be policed how they want to be policed. That's my issue. All the time, people keep on, we have to do this, have to do that. Okay, how about you control your own people and stop putting your hand on someone else's? Ursula just reposted stream. Thank you, Ursula. Reposting does matter, guys. If you haven't reposted it, why haven't you reposted it? Please repost this. Put this someplace. Repost it, share it, do whatever you want to do. Please pop it in if you would. I appreciate it. And also, if you haven't already gone over to Sharpe Way YouTube, please go over to Sharpe Way YouTube and subscribe. It does matter. Not just that, if you want, as you saw some guys, if you want your chat to go right to the front, do me a favor, rant me on Rumble or super chat me on YouTube, either one. Comes right to the front. Also, if you want to become a member, you want to support me doing this more. And in case you haven't noticed, I've been very busy recently. So I want to having to do less and less shows. I'm trying to do more of them if I can. I'm still trying to get some other stuff done. So much stuff to do. You want to help me out personally? You can. You want to help this team out? You can. You want to have better and cooler shows? You can. Become a member. YouTube. It used to be $4.99. Now it's $6.99. Why? Because YouTube said so. That's fine. It is. Just do it. Click that join button. Come aboard. Help me out. It does matter tremendously. Membership. I'm doing a membership show probably next month. You'll come on the show with me and hang out with me. I also try to get members to the front to the best of my ability. Please pop up, become a member. I do appreciate it if you can. If you go, Larry, I really can't. I don't have the cash. You know what you have the cash for? Clicking the like button. That's free. You could just do that and then repost. That's free also. Do those two instead. All right.
Thank you, Governor.
He's going to save us.
For sticking up for New York, for sticking up for the MTA, and for everything you've done to promote safety in the transit system. We're here in the Situation Room, as the governor said. This is the Central Command Center for all the security cameras that you challenged us to install in stations, also in subway cars.
She didn't challenge them to fix the switches so the stuff runs on time. No, she challenged them to put cameras in.
Have it on all the buses. This is our nerve center for that. And historically, it's also been supported by the federal government, as you and I were just discussing.
Historically, it's been supported by the federal government. What I found recently is Republicans don't use that phrase historically. Democrats do. They use that phrase historically as a way to create some form of entitlement. Well, historically, this has happened. Therefore. Historically, therefore. So historically to have, therefore they must. Why? So for the past 24 years, since 9/11, the federal government's given us extra money. So therefore they must forever. I'm not joking. That's literally what he just said. Since 9/11, the government's given us more money. So now they must forever. We now have to live off 9/11 forever. We can never forget that terrible day, and we've got to act like victims forever. New York, that used to be one of the toughest cities in this entire country, has to be a punk city forever. Victims forever. That's what he just said. And he's proud of it. They're all proud. Yeah, we're going to be chumps forever.
This is an area where the federal funds that are being torn away from New York have actually made a difference. And the governor topped it out with the...
All right. If that were true, 20 years you've been getting it, why isn't everything fixed?
Emphasis she's placed on it, but it makes absolutely no sense to tear away support for something that has been so important and under your leadership has become even more successful.
Yeah. Phil says, historically, there was slavery. Therefore, Democrats. You're not wrong, Phil. You're not wrong. Historically, there was slavery. That's true. So what are you going to do? It's true. You're not wrong.
Now, we are here to talk about the threats to our transit safety agenda, and the governor has made that her top priority in dealing with the MTA. But I think that...
I know. She hasn't made it her priority to make it work or cheap. No. To make it actually sustainable. No. More cameras? Job one. Job one.
That it should also be looked at in the context of the progress that's been made.
Okay.
The camera coverage and everything else that we've done, platform barriers and so much else under Governor Hochul's leadership, has allowed us to knock crime down by 10% just this past summer. It's in the last 4 weeks, we're down 30%, as all of the investments that the governor has made.
Okay, so the last 4 weeks, 30%. You've been getting this money for 24 years. I'm not making that up. Probably 23 years. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe it's 23 years. Okay. Over 20 years. You've been getting this money historically, as you said, but just last this summer, 10% lower. You also put the National Guard into the subway system. And she said, you got basically a cop in every freaking car. Could it be that? Could it be that? I'm gonna guess yes.
And the investments that have been made together with the commissioner in NYPD deployments have borne incredible fruit. And the bigger picture is that compared to pre-COVID, everybody forgets, but compared to pre-COVID, subway crime is actually down by 12.5%. So thank you,
look at that,
Governor. Thank you, Commissioner, for all you have done to make those positive stats possible. This is what customers want to see, and satisfaction with subway
this part is true.
Safety overall has been trending upwards. We're up 14% this year. This
is not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not against these things, but you're just saying, look at what we did now. Look at what we're doing now. You've been getting this money for 20 years. What you did now differently recently was put more cops in and put the National Guard in. Could that be the thing? I think you just want your money. That's what I think.
Year to almost 70% in our most recent monthly poll. So this is no time to step away from what has been a very successful effort under Governor Hochul leadership and in partnership with Commissioner Tisch and the NYPD to make the system actually safer and to make it feel safer. We can't tolerate any actions that cause us to lose ground.
So do we need this forever? Does the federal government now just control the MTA now?
In this incredible effort to create a truly safe subway environment. And it makes specifically no sense that the federal government spins all kinds of stories about subway safety and then turns around and withholds the money they are supposed to be contributing to that.
They're supposed to be contributing. Entitlement. Well, then why apply for the grant anymore? Why apply for the grant anymore? No need. Broder says, and I appreciate you acknowledging there are alternatives, but government typically outlaws the alternatives. Mayor, I agree with you. They tend to, which is why you have to run for office so you can push the alternative. But yes, you are correct. They tend to do so. Ryan says, thank you for the $5, my friend. St. Louis is also a chump city, and they keep like the same people, people who once made a great city become a chump city, Democrats. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. We now decide. We become chumps, and now we become accustomed to it. We now think those are the right people. They're helping us, Ryan. They care about us. They care. That's what it is. Yeah. So thank you for $2, my friend. Curtis Leroy police with no funding. What an angel. Nice joke. But I brought this up in my show earlier, right? This happened in the 70s and 80s. The subway system was a disaster. There are movies about it, TV shows about it, right? And what happened? Curtis Leroy. The Guardian Angels happened in that time frame. That's true. Absolutely happened. And as that began to happen, things got better. And to be forward, look, I know some of you don't like Curtis Leroy. I know I'm biased. I know Curtis. I like Curtis. I know him personally. I like him. So I am biased. But whether I'm biased or not, the dude got shot like 5 times. I mean, maybe like 6 or I don't forgot. At least 5. Multiple. He's been shot many times. And he's still going. So, yes, absolutely true. He did it. He didn't stop. The guy does love the city. So, yes, thank you for that. Straight Ann over on Rumble, thank you for the $1. They are playing both sides, setting a stage for Trump is bad, no matter what the outcome. You, Straight Ann, have hit this perfectly. That's what this is. That's why there is literally just a virtue signal. Because no matter what happens, they're going to blame Trump. It's because he didn't give us the money, because he didn't do that, blah, blah, blah. Yes, yes, and yes. So, Joel, Warriors come out to play. Yes. I saw that movie originally. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And remember, I'm from the Bronx. Yes. But do you remember where the Warriors were from? Those who watched that old movie from the 79, maybe 78, 79? In that area, around 1979. I'm not sure. I think 79. They were from Coney Island. And they had to go to the Bronx to have the big meeting of all the gangs with the big gang leader, Cyrus. He was in the Bronx. And he was letting them know that they could win this because it's all our turf. And he asked them if they could dig it. And he asked it by saying, can you dig it? For those who remember that movie. So yes, thank you for that, Joel. I appreciate that. That was a very good, that was a very interesting movie. Good cult classic for those of you who may like that kind of movie. A good cult classic for that time. So you guys are giving me some old stuff. I appreciate that. I think 79, right? Is that right? Someone check that out. I think that's 79. So, all right, let me grab some more of these if I can. All right. And Michael also give me some nostalgia. We didn't need no welfare state. Everybody pulled his weight. G.R.O. LaSalle ran great. Those were the days. Guys like us, we had it great. We had it. I thought it was we had it made. Isn't it guys like us, we had it made? Is it we had it great? I think it's we had it made. Those were the days. That was the opening song to All in the Family, also from the late 70s. I don't know how I would know this because I'm only 32. So I don't know how I would know this because I don't know. Of course, I'm just guessing. So, yes. Anyway, I appreciate that. Let me keep going here.
Effort, which is really a pittance compared to what these two leaders are contributing to the subway safety effort. But it is the federal government's obligation and to pull
their obligation. He just says the quiet part out loud. It's Trump's obligation. It was Uncle Joe's obligation. If they don't do it, they're wrong. Andrea says, I didn't know grants were guaranteed. Silly you, Andrea. They are. Yes. Once they're historical, that's the key. See, Andrea, you didn't know. Once they're historical, then they're guaranteed. That's how that works. So as soon as someone historically does stuff, they must do it forever. That's how it works. See, Andrea, historically, you've watched my show. You must watch it forever now. If you don't, it's your obligation. That's your fault for watching my show. You did it too much. It's now historical. You must do it now. And if you don't, I'm going to call Kathy Hochul to come have you arrested because you have to watch my show because historically you have, and therefore you must. I'm sorry, Andrea. I like you, but you have obligations now, okay? You have obligations now. Just so we're clear on this.
That money away that funds actual cameras and NYPD and MTA PD operations seems nuts. Now, I know that we always acknowledge that we have a ways to go on perception of subway crime and the reality of subway crime. We had an episode just this week that obviously...
Yep, we did have some, yes. So John says the worst was 79. Oh, good. Okay, I was right. I thought it was 79. I knew it was in that area. But yeah, I know that. So why are you messing with me, Mastermind? Larry knows Archie Bunk, but doesn't know Black Crows. I can't know everything. I mean, I can know everything, but I don't know everything. Almost everything. But no. Yes. And also know San Francisco. I know San Francisco also. I do. I used to watch it all the time. I'm a big fan. And then Phil goes, Escape from New York, call me Snake. Yes. By the way, the actor who plays Snake, Kurt Russell, is libertarian. That's true. He's libertarian. I tried, this is a true story, back in 2023. No, yeah, 2023. Or 2022. I actually tried to reach out to him, and I had some of my people. I don't know him personally at all, but someone I knew someone in his orbit, like maybe one of his people, for like his agent or something. So we actually reached out, trying to get him to consider, I'm not joking, running for president under the Libertarian banner. He was 100% not interested in even talking to us. Not even interested in even talking to us. Not at all. So yes, maybe one day he will, but boy, he was not interested in even talking to us. He was like, nope, don't waste your time. Don't come near me. Have a nice day.
Disturbed all of us. But I am thrilled to see the continuing and passionate commitment that we get from the state level leadership and especially from the NYPD leadership as we continue this very successful march forward. Thank you. Commissioner Tisch.
Thank you.
Now, this is going to ask a very important question here. It's going to be critical.
Thank you, Governor
Critical here coming
Hochul,
up.
for your unwavering support of the men and women of the New York City Police Department.
Because she loves the cops. See that? Hochul loves the cops, Mike. Michael Voss, see, it was Trump the whole time who was defunding the police. Clearly, if you look right here, she loves the cops the whole time. She's not defunding them. And Mom Donnie obviously wasn't defunding them either. So Trump was a secret TSA member the whole time.
Today, the NYPD stands with the governor, with the mayor, and the MTA against this quite troubling decision by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security to withhold the federal transit security grant funding from New York City. The transit security grant program was created in the wake of 9/11 to assist
I know, 20 years. When are you going to get it right?
Municipalities with hardening transit systems from the threat of terrorism.
And the reason is, here's the reason why they did that, just so you're clear. They had to make sure that they were going to harden the transit systems because what happened was when 9/11 hit, they had used the trains. Oh, wait, no, they didn't. That's fine. Because they were going to use the train. Oh, no, they're not. Well, because the trains were used. Wait, no, they weren't. Because they talked about, no. Because train rhymes with plane, and they use planes, so duh. God, get it right, Ryan. That's why. Plane rhymes with train. So you got to make the trains something. God, people don't know anything.
The past 18 years, we have consistently used these funds from this grant to support.
We've consistently used them historically. We've historically used them. Therefore, we get to keep them. They don't stop terrorism at all. And no one's even talked about that ever. And there's no such thing as an MTA train attack. That's not a thing. But, you know, train rhymes with planes, so stop complaining. Give me the money.
Support deployments of counterterrorism officers into New York City subway stations, tunnels, equipment rooms, tracks, and train cars. Explosive detection canine.
So what she's saying is, look at how we used all this money, even though there was no need to use all this money. Look at all these random jobs we made, we would give out to our cronies based upon this money. See, Hochul said the quiet part out loud, 15,000 jobs. New York State doesn't make new jobs. It can't. It sucks at making jobs. It doesn't do it well at all. So what must it do? If you go upstate, it's all military industrial complex. That's how the new jobs coming up upstate New York. It's all military industrial complex, money coming to the federal government to make the Micron, all that garbage, which will never do what it says ever, all that garbage. And then down here, it's another $18 billion from the government so that we can start building stuff that we don't need. Yes. Why are we hardening our subway system? Why aren't we making it run effectively? Why aren't we making it clean? Why don't we do it? Why don't we make it so that people don't set others on fire? How about that? I think that's a better way versus hardening it because plane rhymes with trains or whatever. I don't know.
Capabilities with dogs trained to find explosives and chemical, radiological, and nuclear weapons. Mobile explosive screening teams with officers.
Which none of it matters. Like none of it matters. Phil over on Rumble says, thank you for the $1, my friend. It sounds like something a trust fund baby would say. Yep. And then he says, make the trains run on time. Yes. Why don't you stop worrying about all the other stuff and just do what Phil says? Felicia, how are you? Make the trains run on time. Do that. That will be way better. Just make the trains run on time. But
and equipment to screen passengers' bags at entrance points. Suspicious activity behavior recognition teams with undercover officers in the New York City subway system.
Hold on. Suspicious whatever. I'm not sure I want to pay for that.
Heavy weapons teams for a visible presence during.
Why do you want heavy weapons teams in this? I remember after 9/11. I remember in Grand Central Station. Reserve units. I think the reservists, they might have been active army, but I think they were reserve units in the Grand Central Station with M16s. Why? For those of you who don't know, M16 is a very light round. The Grand Central Station is all like marble and stone. For those who don't understand how this works, you fire that round in Grand Central Station, it's going to ricochet 9 times. I'm not joking. It's going to ricochet 9 times. Boom, 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 boom. 9 times going to ricochet. You're going to hit everybody except the guy you want to hit. Man, you might hit him and 6 others. So they maintain you scaring people?
Rush hour to deter attacks, as well.
Where's the attacks?
As well as subway cameras that the governor and Jana were referencing that give our agencies the ability to monitor, to investigate, and examine threats in real time. The fact of the matter is, since 9/11, the New York City subway system has been a persistent target.
Okay. She says, since 9/11, it's been a persistent target. Where's all the newspaper articles on how many? Persistent. So persistent to me says, maybe you read it wrong, every year, people are, every year, people are trying to blow up the freaking subway or something, right? Know what she said? Persistent since 9/11. We're still living off 9/11. Jesus Christ. Lunatics, what would a former Marine know about weapon systems? Pfft, good point. Well, now they use M4s, which is very close to M16. They're very close, but a little bit different.
And with the support of the counterterrorism grant programs that I just articulated,
yes,
the men and women of the NYPD have done an admirable job keeping the system safe from terrorism. Taking these capabilities away from the busiest and therefore the most high threat subway system in the.
Because it's the busiest, it's the high threat. Not that it's actually threatened. It's the busiest, therefore, but isn't O'Hare the busiest airport in America? I think that's true, right? It was O'Hare out of Chi-Town. I think that's true. In which case, I guess O'Hare is the bigger one, isn't it?
Country is a profound mistake. Counterterrorism operations and public safety in general cannot be politicized. Funding cannot rise and fall based on partisan whims. Last week, the president, the governor's request, reversed a similar decision by Secretary Noem of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security to withhold a different pot of counterterrorism funding from New York. At the time, we said that funding was the difference between a city that prevents the next attack and a city left exposed to it.
That was $187,000. I'm not joking. $187,000. The salary of the guy you just saw before is more than $187,000 per year. And she just lied to you and said, that's the difference between a city that can survive and be blown up by 80,000 people. The world's going to end. Yeah, one guy's salary. Again, a blatant lie. Not true at all.
I want to be clear that the same is true for the Transit Security Grant Program.
Damn.
These programs funds are the difference between preventing the next attack in our transit system and a transit system left exposed to it.
Exposed because $187,000. One dude's salary. Ball game over. Ball game over. It's finished. Pack up, leave the city. Why? One dude won't get a salary. Done and done. Over. Done and done. Yes. Mike says, hold on. Mike did some homework. There are 472 stations. That would need an explosive dog and cop doing 3 shifts. That's 2,832 people and dogs just to harden the subway from bombs. Oh my God. $198 million a year. Yeah, they don't mind paying that money. They would love that. They would love that, Mike. Yeah, they would love that. They would absolutely love that. I'm not sure they would do it, but yeah, they would love it. Ken says you can't spell demagogue without them. Not that. Mike, take that one. You use that. That's a good one for you. You take that one. Don't give Ken any credit. But yeah, take that. That's right. 100%. All righty.
My hope is that the governor's clear calls to reverse this ill-conceived funding cut will be heeded as well. For the millions of people who ride and depend on our subways each day, these critical resources must be restored. Thank you.
Must be. Okay. Now take some important questions so we can stop, see what's going on here. This is important.
All right.
Okay, now we're ready to go because now that you're going to watch
take any on-topic questions.
Press is going to just...
All right, let's start with Samantha Liebman over there from New York 1. Sam, you have a question?
All right, New York 1. Knock it out.
If you don't get the funding, what are your options?
If you don't get the funding, what are your options? Yeah. If you don't get the funding, what are your options? Now, I've told you what the options are, and you don't think I'm telling the truth. It is. The options are federal money. If you don't get federal money, the options are federal money. If you don't get federal money, then the other option is federal money. That's the option. There's nothing else. That's the plan. That's been the plan for years. Sorry, historically. That's been the plan historically, therefore the plan forever.
We're in court right now. We hope to be successful in arguing that this is arbitrary and capricious, that the money is part of a grant program that we've come to rely on, and we hope that the historically. Judge will rule in our favor. So let me see how that unfolds before I would announce any other developments.
Okay, she has no other plan. I'm not joking. She has no other plan. None. It's give me the money or we're screwed. And as things fail, she'll just blame Trump. See, Trump didn't give us the money. That's Trump's fault.
Can you quantify how many plots against the subway system have been?
How many plots against the subway system? She asks. She's going to ask that question. Remember what Hochul said. Hochul told us. I brought this up. Hochul said there were countless. That there were so many. And they don't get into the newspaper. They don't get to the press. We don't tell them. Must be so many of them. Oh, my God. Probably one every day. Probably 300 a year. Oh, my God. Okay. How many?
Stopped with this fund.
And, of course, because she said it's the most critical of the world. So I'm sure she knows the exact number. I'm sure because she just said how important it is, didn't she? She expressed. So I'm sure she's going to show up and she's going to give us the exact number, and it's going to be in the hundreds. Going to be in the hundreds. Watch. She's going to know. It's going to be like 2,492, something like that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about this before. To my recollection, there have been 8.
8. 8. 24 years. 8. And she's not even sure. To my recollection, I think 8. I'm not paying attention because it don't matter. Because it doesn't matter because it's bullshit. Now, 8. See, Andrea got it perfectly. 8 is countless. Freaking countless. Who can count to 8? I can't count to 8. I try. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't do it. I can't count it. I can't count to 8. It's countless. I cannot count to 8. It's countless. Hold on. Try it again. 2, 3. I'm going to try to count by 2s. 2, 4, 6. No, I can't do it. Countless. Look at her face. Look at Kathy Hochul's face. She said countless, and the number was 8. Now, the other one, the one right, Tish just said, oh, they're always attacking, and oh my God, the world's ending. 8. So once every 3 years. So she's seen 1. She's seen 1. Now, I will ask the more important question, Andrea, which we should know. Of the 8, countless, I can't go up, well, I don't know what 8 is. Yeah, so yeah. Of the 8, how many were just FBI agents? 7? Probably 7 of them were actually FBI agents, and 1, yes, was not. Oh my God. This is terrible. 8. Joel knows. I can't count 8 because I know what a computer is. True. Kathy Hochul knew that says I don't know what a computer is and I can't swim. None of things possible because I'm black from the Bronx. So she said that. I obviously don't know what a computer is and can't swim. I can't count to 8. So for me, it was indeed countless. She was looking for me. See, Joel, she cares about me. She didn't want me to feel bad. So she didn't want to say 8 because I would be shocked by that number because I can't count that high. So she's just said countless. Larry and Mike can't count that high. We'll just say countless. They won't feel bad. True. True. Literally says Larry doesn't know computers, how to swim, or how to count. All true. My governor does love me. She's looking out for me. I love it. There we go. Yes. 8. I'm not joking. You heard her say it. 8. They're so full of shit. Like they're just so full of shit.
Plots targeting the New York City subway system since 9/11.
All right, we got time for a couple more. We're tight. Stephanos Chen right there from the New York Times. And if we can get the lights back on, that'd probably be helpful.
On the status of the last week's money, $187 million.
$187 million that Tish said was the difference between it being open to death and murder and destruction. She said that.
President Trump has said that he did not agree with that, but what is the actual status, and does that mean that that money is still on its way to New York?
We're expecting that money. I will also say that when I made my phone call to thank the president for unleashing the $187,000.
Yeah, what did he do then? What happened? What happened as you were doing your deal making? See, she's doing her deal making right now. She's going down there. She called me and said, all right, I'm going to get a deal. I'm going to get my $187,000. That's one guy's salary in the MTA. Okay, then what happened?
I just learned that we lost the $18 billion as well as this $34 million. So
damn, you the best negotiator ever. You went down there and you got the $187,000 back. You lost the $34 million and the $18 billion. That's her. That's her negotiating. That's our governor negotiating on our behalf. Okay, what happened when you got down there? Well, we had three goals. What was the goal? 187,000. I got that. Well, great, good. Okay, how about the 34 million? No, blew that one. How about the 18 billion? Oh, no, blew that. But it's a win. We got 187. What? That's what happened.
My thank you call, I also raised that we desperately want the funding for the infrastructure projects and the security funding restored. And he said he would look into it. That's all I can disclose.
He's going to look into it. I'm sure it's good. I mean, Trump said he's going to look into it. Done. And done. Andrea says it. What a negotiator. It's true. I'm impressed by my monarch, my queen. She is amazing. She went down there and she went scrapping and she came back with minus $18 billion. Just saying. There we go. Rocking and rolling.
From a conversation.
All right. Michelle Kasky from Bloomberg right there.
All right. Are we good?
Go ahead. Don't worry about the mic. We're all close.
Hi, thank you. So the $34 million that you're saying that is being withheld right now, that is separate from Tish James's lawsuit, correct? Because that's a different that's a different program.
Oh, so Tish is going to do a bunch of lawsuits. Okay.
She's filed multiple lawsuits. The one that we're in court with today, and I'm willing to be, 11 a.m. this morning is related to the $34 million. So that's occurring right now.
And $34 million.
Because, see, my governor's powerful, good negotiator. Her answer is, I'll just sue him because that'll work. Because you all know what Trump does is, boy, does he listen to judges. It's what he does. He's known for that. That's like his thing. He just loves judges. This, what could go wrong here? Like what? Nothing could go wrong. This is going to go perfectly well, perfectly fine. I know I'm teasing. I know I am. I know I'm kind of joking when I say these things. I know I am. But I say it because I want you to see what's actually happening. It's actually happening here, and people are looking for it and trying to make it work. And it's almost like a joke. It's almost like a joke. Most of our politicians, all they care about is being able to blame somebody else. That's the issue. And with that in mind, I want to show you a place where you can see politicians and other people just saying what they honestly feel. And that's an important thing. Saying what they honestly feel is an important thing. Where do you can see that? I think you know where. You knew it was civil. Of course you did. It was civil. Of course it is. Yes, it is. And this is one of these. Every single time I do a show, I show you something cool on civil. And this is actually someone who I met. I met this guy, Chip Roy. I actually met him at the Ron Paul's 90th birthday party a couple of weeks back in Texas. And believe it or not, he actually showed up and defended his vote on the big, beautiful bill, which Reason Magazine's Nick Lefty called the Trump debt bomb. I love that. He actually decided to show up and to talk about it. And you might like Chip, you might not like Chip, whatever you might feel. But here's what I'm telling you. This dude showed up. And
this is the Reason interview with Nick Gillespie. My guest today is Republican Congressman Chip Roy of Texas. He's a fiscal hawk whose commitment to balancing the budget has led Donald Trump to call for primary challenges against him. I sit down with Roy to talk about why he ultimately voted for the president's budget-busting big, beautiful bill, whether the controversial redistricting plan going on in Texas is really legit, the expansion of the federal government under both parties, and where libertarians and conservatives can work together to reduce the size, scope, and spending of the state. Here is the Reason interview with Chip Roy.
This is the kind of stuff you're going to see on civil. It's a real conversation. And he actually asked some real questions, and Chip gives you what he thinks. Chip actually talked to a room full of Ron Paul, Republicans, libertarians, and defended it. He did. He was, here's what I said. Here's what I think. Here's why I did it. And look, whether you like Chip Roy or not, any politician, particularly elected, who will show up, take the slings and arrows, and tell you why they're doing it, I wish we had more of them to at least do that. At least we'd know where their heads are. We know what they're saying. We'd know what they're thinking. All those things. It does matter. We need more people doing that. And we need places like Reason where people can go to and feel like I'm not just going to be attacked. It's not just going to be a left-right. It's going to be a conversation. Civil is the place for this. CIVL.com. When you sign up, use the code Larry. You get 50% off. Yes, of the entire year. $25 for the year, not $25 a month. No, it's not what I said. What I said was $25 a year, an entire year, $25. It's a steal. Every show, I'll show you something cool, something that's happening right now, something that is topical. And it's not the left-right screaming. It's not the conflict machine. It's not, oh, Dems are bad, all Republicans are bad. It's not that. It's real conversations, and it's up to date. This is from August of this year. This is what's happening, new stuff, and 6 shows, just Larry Sharpe shows that are only on Civil. Yes, that's it. We fix it Wednesdays, only on Civil. Check those out. Again, CIBL.com. Code is Larry, 50% off. This is where we're upgrading civilization without the conflict machine. Jump on board. Thanks, guys. All right. I'm going to grab some more comments if I could. Touchdown Bears, because that's good. Kevin says, Larry, since I've been listening to your podcast for a while, it is my responsibility to continue watching. Go to Hochul, have him make an unfunded mandate to watch your show. Good idea. I'm going to make an unfunded mandate. You have to watch my show. That makes sense. I'm going to go do that. Yep. Good idea. Liberty says, they call Thomas Massie a budget hawk, and I'm okay with it. Not sure if you guys saw the combined efforts to come after Thomas Massie lately over a stupid comment that's getting twisted around. True. True. All the time. Yes. All the time. They're always trying to beat him up, and it's terrible. Yes. Joel says, reduce the size, scope, and spending of government. I wish Mo would work on that idea. True. Also good. Yes. I think that's an important piece. Guys, I know I have talked a lot about, I've talked a lot about this stuff. I have. The one thing I want to bring up, if I could, if you don't mind, is I'd like you guys, if you're going to be in New York, to come out and see me. Come and see me. If you're going to be out in New York this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, head to any of my my social media. Check out my social media. It tells you where I'm going to be. Come see me if you can. If you haven't clicked that like button, I don't know why you haven't clicked the like button. Please click it. It does matter. Every like does matter. It's how I grow. It's how this podcast grows. It is the way. Remember, after this live is over, do me a favor. Go here and then click. Click on what you think about the government shutdown. What do you think about it? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it going to help? Is it going to harm? Is it hurting your state? What do you think about the government shutdown? That's what I want you to ask, please, if you would. Check out the government shutdown. And if you're watching this and it's later on, it's not live, remember, 2 videos are going to pop up. Please watch one of them right away. Mr. Rhythm loves that. I'll go. Rhythm. I will see you all very soon.